Welcome everyone to day one of the New Economy Conference, Battle of the Companies. Today, I'm really excited to talk to Joerg Mot, the co-founder of Bitcoin and the founder of the Satoshi School. Hello, Joerg. How are you today?
Hello, Victor. Yeah, fine. So I'm very proud to be in your show today. It's a good thing you started here, and yeah, let's have a look.
Well, you've been with Bitcoin for a long time. You've seen the whole industry grow. Where did it all come from?
I think first in the first row, I think when it started in 2009 with Bitcoin for the mass adoption in 2012 until the Bitcoin price was dropping, it was more an emphasis that people were thinking about, wow, we can use our own money, we can handle it in our way. And they had more the spirit to be free with money. They have a new asset class, which they don't recognize before. And there was a spirit in there, like pioneers going digging for gold. And today it changed to the commercial things, to the business. So they all jumped on the train and create all the stuff around. So this is the main change in there. So the philosophy has come to a business, and from the business point out, you see starting all the assets management and everything is in there. The topic of blockchain and Bitcoin has been separated. Yeah, and we see both sides of the story gain. So the philosophers in Bitcoin are gaining more attraction today because they say, okay, digital control is something, yeah. But on the other hand, you see Goldman and Sachs and all big companies run in the asset class for Bitcoin and gain revenue. And so there are a lot of space for new ideas and new economies in there.
So you feel like Bitcoin got us away from some of these traditional financial companies, and now these big financial giants are starting to come back.
Yes, they start to come back because as you see is when ICOs was rising or STOs now rising, a lot of startups have the possibility to raise capital without going for the banks, having all the discussions about they just start and have to attract investors. And that's a huge opportunity for people coming out of nothing, you know?
Right. Yeah, now if you have to be an accredited investor, then how can you participate?
Participation is one thing. You need only two things. You need a strong idea behind what you want to deliver. Then you have to check for the market if someone else is delivering it already there and it is running good or not, or is your idea unique? And then you start to go for the internet, searching for bounty manager or something like that, who connects you to the world of ICO financials and STO financials. There is a huge market in there, but most of them, I would say, the successful, they have a prototype of what they want to present, and that's, in my opinion, the best way to start.
What's your definition of the fintech market?
The fintech market is something I think they do not really know where they have to be placed in all these things. They're looking around, they want to do some custody management on blockchain technology. They try out to use some transactions of assets in blockchain or ownership management or something like that. But it is quite the same from the old world now in a digital form. You see no inventions in there. So it's only converting, you know. And with converting this technology from the old markets to the new markets, you convert also the problems. They haven't got regarded that this is a chance to make a change, like that. They only use the old structures, the old rules to make new economy. And you see a lot of them failed in the last times to provide something working, you know.
What are some of those historical problems that you'd like to see change?
The historical problems is that, for example, I would say KYC is a historical problem. If you think about money laundering and terrorism, financial, they do it much faster today with offshore accounts because they are just working, you know. So and money laundering, say tax saving or something like that. It's depending on that what the government is declaring. For example, we could make partnerships with the Iran, then the US government is saying Iran is forbidden, and in that moment you have black money, you know. So the necessary is for me in the future, and more people using Bitcoin for going a different way, is that we come to a conclusion that governments accept that we have a change in the system how we use money and in the system how we use transactional value, but in a new way. And it's not disruptive like everyone is telling. It's a part of a society who is changing. It's more an evolution, not a revolution. And see, we have talked JPEG into Bitcoins. We had all the concerns about that, but finally they understand it's better to accept that the society is going this way and they will be will to work with us together, but more rules send them to the underground. It's always the same, you know?
Right. So a lot of the same problems that we've had are perhaps part of human nature.
Yes, it's part of that. So I give you a good shot in a new terms. So everyone is talking about regulating a KYC, but no one is talking about regulating the OTC market, who is dumping the prices on the market because they buy outside the market and push the money into the regulated exchanges and dumps the price. If you do it on a stock exchange, you have some problems, some
Right.
real problems with the government and regulators.
That brings us to another question about IEOs. We've seen the market changing from ICOs and then to STOs, and now people are starting to come up with initial exchange offerings. What's your opinion about this new change?
You think everyone wants to run sooner or later a crypto-based ETF or something like that? And if they have recognized that the SEC and the governments not follow up with ETFs, so they need a proposal to have a step in between. And the IEs are a good thing to go for that, to prove that could work and try to start again to raise an ETF. But at the moment, I see the market very difficult. We have 10 up to 2% of the companies which gain capital and just still alive, and we had 95% of all these projects running into money and running out of money by fail with the system, you know. And it's all about trust building at the moment, and I think that kinds like that needs a very good basic.
So what's happening to all these failed projects? What's happening to their teams, and what's happening to the investors?
I think the most problem is that they have all lack of education. So the typical ICO is promising you in the past that you will run something on the blockchain or on a distributed ledger blockchain or something like that. But we can't do anything on the blockchain. We can combine some numbers and date stamps as a certificate, and this certificate can work that we say, okay, let's make a transaction for the certificate, or the transaction is regarded to say D apps or something like that. But the D app at the same is not on the blockchain, you know, it's only a transaction which is acting on something. And most of them do not understand that field. And we have a lot of developers who run into nothing, and that's why the companies fail, because the description of the project, what they really want, and the necessaries of the developers, they talk each other in different languages. And that's a lack of knowledge. I believe that's the most problem why a lot of good ICOs with very good ideas have starved in the past time. But I see also a change, because more and more investors start to educate themselves in a way that they understand what the ICO companies and STOs are talking about, so they can make more clarify which step is necessary to do and what we can do. And there are a lot of ICOs, very good ICOs out there with very good ideas, to have a chance that they come alive.
So do you think that it makes a big difference if you're investing in an STO or a utility coin?
Not at the moment, because from the regulator point, it's okay. You have the risk management in there. So if you're an STO, you have to back up the STO tokens, for example, with assets. That makes it more complicated, because you need a government decision in there. And I think this is for many people a hurdle to start. But a lot of companies working to make it easier.
Well, if you own part of a company, or you own some coin within a company, like, is there a difference? What's pushing the actual concept of how the blockchain is going to improve? Is there a difference there?
I think the basic problem is in the first, let's say, good running projects always had a crowd they can build on top. The crowd was there. So most of the projects have lack of crowd. So you have to invest a lot of in marketing and everything to build a crowd which is follow you up and is working with you, you know. And this is
Right.
also if you're an SDO. With an SDO, it's much harder to find a crowd which is following you up because they have to follow the rules of the SDO before they can invest, you know. And
Right.
most of the investors have niche products they want to support, and that's tricky, you know. But now we have the situation because we have seen last year a lot of scams, you know.
Right. What aspect of the traditional financial community are being disrupted, uh, could potentially be replaced by the benefits of blockchain?
First, I think they will they will sooner or later they will lose the whole asset arrangements to a public blockchain. I think at the moment many people use private blockchains to do this, but asset management needs clarify and makes that means trackability. So I think that the traditional asset management they will lose to the companies who provides combination of private blockchains to their own company with, I would say, a combination of a public blockchain to show out where the assets are at the moment. And that's what the big challenge is for a bank, for example. Think about all the management in there, thinking about the deposit management, for example. I think sooner or later, this will everyone can run this because we will get a lot of platforms making it very easily for you to run your assets and manage your assets by your own. It will become a lot of easier than today.
Okay. Now, the government is obviously has all the power in this world, various governments. Is it easy for them just to turn a switch somewhere and all of a sudden they control the blockchain?
No, I think not. In a DAT environment, it's easy for a government to survive because they want also to track the companies and taxing and everything. So you can easily connect the DAT ledger with the government departures and provide them with the necessary data in a good way and in an environment. But if it comes to think about Bitcoin, it is impossible. They think they have now all the regulations in Bitcoin universe, but when we started in Japan, I recognized more than 3 million people in Japan working with Bitcoins by using it is a monetary system, not as an asset class. And if
Right.
people start to use it as money, every government is lost if it is not changing the way it is acting and start to change the way how it sees Bitcoins.
So you're a true libertarian. You feel like Bitcoin is going to change government. It's not government going to change Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's why we have a that's why I run a school project. We also teaching governments, and when we come to Japan's government years ago and talking about Bitcoin and accepting Bitcoin as a currency, we had all the concerns in there. But the Japanese understand if 3 million people use Bitcoins and no one is paying taxes because they leave our system, you know, they have
Hmm.
also serious problems to keep up the community necessaries for healthcare or whatever you want. Yeah. So they have to arrange with these communities, and that's what happens. But as we see today, is Japan a better government than before? I think no, it's the same, but they have an add-on. So they had the gift for the people.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. As you know, everybody is voting for various companies here on the New Economy website,
Yes,
and you've taken a look at 10 interesting companies,
yes,
and have you come up with your opinion about which companies are doing or are doing things according to your vision?
yes. I've looked at companies in there, and I picked up three kinds of company which fulfill the necessaries I have when I look at a company. So a company, for my opinion, must do some favor for everyone. So it's a company who has a good idea, but I look also, is this idea transponsible? Is this realizing? You can realize it, or is it only an idea, you know? So
Uh-huh.
from a technical point to make it happen, when they go for tokenizing the company and raising money, it's very important for me to know. is there a chance that they will survive? And yeah, I found 3 interesting ideas which are not so common than other companies, and a little bit of unique in there. So yeah,
we're ready. We're all waiting.
you're waiting, right?
This is the big moment.
Now, who would it be? So first, I decided to select Mobo. Mobo comes out. I have a lot of projects in Africa, and Mobo was saying, okay, first we become asset trading and everything, and we make smart banking for tokens. We will go for the African market. So that was a point where I was saying, okay, that's a good start. There is a huge market out there with people who want to come into in all of this, and they have been forgotten a little bit because no one was taking care in this market in the African country. So more about, I was very astonished that they let you create your ICOs and STOs on their own platform, so you can easily set up the necessaries and the dependings, and they provide you with all the information, and the platform is like an automatism. So it is very easy for entrepreneurs without a technical background to use their platform, and that was something I was thinking is a good thing. And also they have an education level in there, so they educated people in all of this. And some, I would say, Mobo is a good idea and has a good chance to start on the market for banking in this way.
Is that your number 1 pick or your number 3 pick?
This is my number one pick up, because they also want to provide crypto cards where you can spend your cryptos and everything. They see the whole economy as a part of a society and not only as a part of a company. So they have very deeply thoughts in there how the economy can work in there, and they are very far away from different concepts and how the circulation of money is working in there, and they have a clear vision.
Good, fantastic. Is it a distant second or is it a close second?
It's a close second, because I would say the third place and the second place different, because they're more hardware related. So I choose for the second place in fintech. I was going for CTR. Good. CTR, I see all the problems with internet and everything. So for me, I've always supported Blockstream, and we can see we can send Bitcoins via satellite, so we are independent from the internet. So when it comes to 5G and transponders and everything, and setting up GSM modules, CTR has a fantastic solution, make it easy to set up this masts, and in a very efficiently and cheap way. That's the problem, what they described. It's very expensive to set up, like, think about Huawei is investing in 5G, millions, dozens of millions euros, and I think CTR can set up this in a very clear way and very cheap. So the concept, when you see the movie from CTR and what they describe in the background and the white paper and everything, it's a good start to go there, because we all know communication satellites and everything in the space. Even they go for direct over this radio waves. This is the future. I think this is a huge market for hardware and for delivering, and there is an necessary on the market. I have read a lot of that, and the demand is there, and they are just right in time with their idea. And I think if they have a strong investor behind, they can make it.
Good.
Yeah, great. So the last one I was going for was Bitcoin OX. So Bitcoin OX is simply said only a wallet, but everyone is today looking for a wallet which has high security, and on the other hand, many people look for multi-currency wallet. So the Bitcoin OX has a lot of features in there. Think about multi-signatures. They have started to work around that you can keep your own keys, and you can recover the wallets each time with the passphrase. They are compatible to different technologies. And I see this is a very clear and easy wallet, which you can understand without any technical background, and you can send easily. Also, you can in the future store your tokens on these wallets, and they have a lot of upside potential in there because they are compatible to several systems also, and token security.
Fantastic. Now, everybody else who's participating in the Newconomy conference, you can also do your voting. You can go ahead and vote right now, and we're going to find out the winners.
Yes, that's
in
it.
just a couple of days. I would like to thank the co-founder of Bitcoin and founder of Satoshi School.
Was my pleasure.
I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Huobi. It makes more people engage in creating a better future of crypto assets. Thank you so much, Joerg.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck for everybody's trading.
Thank you.